to eat first?
I'm good.
Sure.
I'm not even hungry. We go for it.
When Alaskan Bush People premiered in May 2014, viewers fell in love with the family's wild, off-the-grid lifestyle. As the charismatic eldest brother, Matt Brown quickly became a fan favorite. Sadly, behind his rugged charm lay a deeply personal battle that has now ended in absolute heartbreak, leaving fans completely devastated by his sudden, tragic passing. What truly led to this heartbreaking end for a star who brought so much joy to millions? Join us as we honor Matt's unforgettable journey and look back at the powerful memories he leaves behind. One Last Dance: The Devastating Loss of Patriarch Billy Brown. Alaskan Bush People first burst onto television screens in May 2014, capturing the hearts of millions of viewers. The show promised an authentic look at the Brown family as they attempted to survive in the rugged, remote wilderness, completely cut off from modern society. Audiences watched in awe as the extended family navigated life first in Alaska and later in Washington state. However, the show quickly faced intense skepticism and criticism, with many claiming that the supposedly genuine reality drama was heavily scripted and completely fake. Despite the ongoing controversy and rumors, fans remained utterly hooked on the family's wild adventures, leading to renewal after renewal. By the time the show reached its later seasons, the drama on screen became all too real. In August 2020, fan favorite cast member Bear Brown delivered a devastating blow on Instagram, revealing to shocked followers that the family's beloved Washington home had been completely destroyed by raging wildfires. Tragedy struck the family even harder just a few months later. In February 2021, the beloved family patriarch Billy Brown suddenly passed away at the age of 68 after suffering a terrifying seizure. His son Bear broke the heartbreaking news to the world in an emotional Instagram post, calling his father their best friend and a wonderful, loving husband and grandfather who would be missed terribly. The grief-stricken family later paid a beautiful, tear-jerking tribute to him in a special season 13 episode titled One Last Dance, Da. With the loss of their leader, the dynamic of the family shifted forever, turning all eyes toward the resilient matriarch, Ami Brown. While audiences first met Ami as a hard-working mother of 7 surviving in the bush, she has since stepped into a massive new role as a grandmother to at least 10 grandkids. Life after the cameras stopped rolling has been an absolute roller coaster for her. Back in 2017, she shocked fans by revealing a severe lung cancer diagnosis, but miraculously announced a year later that her cancer was completely in remission. Unfortunately, her health battles did not end there. Since the show wrapped up, Ami has been hospitalized for multiple medical emergencies, including a major health scare in February 2025 that left fans deeply concerned for her well-being. Thankfully, she has since updated her loyal Instagram followers with cheerful photos and videos that happily indicate she is doing well and staying strong. To make things even more exciting, Ami has also given fans a juicy peek into her revitalized romantic life. In January 2026, she officially hard-launched her relationship with her new partner, DJ, proudly referring to her new beau as her husband. Today, she regularly posts sweet snippets of her day-to-day life, proving that even after the cameras stop rolling and immense heartbreak strikes, new beginnings are always possible. From the wild to the spotlight, the dramatic evolution of the Brown clan. The remaining siblings of the Brown clan have taken wildly different paths since stepping out of the Alaskan wilderness, trading their off-the-grid childhoods for a roller coaster of dramatic new relationships, legal battles, and massive life changes that nobody could have predicted. While some found peace in creative ventures and new romances, Others faced shocking downward spirals, showing that life in the real world can hold far more dangerous traps than the untamed bush ever did. Joshua Bam Bam Brown, the second eldest of the children, decided to completely graduate from reality TV to pursue a passionate career in podcasting. Since 2025, he has been hosting his very own podcast called Brown Overboard, where he frequently interviews members of his famous family. Beyond the microphone, Bam Bam has also successfully branched out as an actor and voice actor. During his time on Alaskan Bush People, viewers watched his long-term relationship unfold with one of the show's producers, Allison Kagan, and reports showed the pair were seemingly still together as of 2020. Meanwhile, Billy and Ami's third son, Bear Brown, has shifted his focus to being a father to his three beautiful boys, River, Cove, and Everest. He welcomed his children with his former wife, Raven Adams, whom he married in January 2022. However, their relationship was rocky from the start. Just months after their wedding, Bear was arrested in connection with a domestic violence situation involving Raven. He reportedly entered a plea deal shortly after, though the exact conditions of that deal remain unconfirmed. The couple tried to make things work, but in April 2025, Bear and Raven officially announced their split on social media. Bear shared a heartfelt Instagram post explaining that they decided to separate but remained good friends dedicated to co-parenting their kids. Today, Bear frequently posts updates about his children and keeps fans in the loop about the rest of the family's daily lives. Gabe Brown, the fourth son, has also built a large family of his own with his wife, Raquel Rose, whom he married in 2019. Gabe warmly recalled their wedding day, expressing how grateful he was to have his mother by his side and calling Raquel his one true love. The couple quickly welcomed their first daughter, Sophie, that same year, followed by a second baby girl. The family grew even larger in October 2025 when Bear announced to the world that Gabe and Raquel had just welcomed their first son, whom they named Buck. The youngest of the Brown brothers, Noah Brown, is also managing life as a proud father. He welcomed two sons, Elijah and Adam, with his ex-wife, Rain Alicia. Sadly, the couple decided to split in January 2025 after around 6 years of marriage. They broke the news together in a joint TikTok video, stating it was in their best interests to separate and take a break. Noah continues to stay highly active on TikTok, sharing videos of his sons and their grandmother. He even teased fans in January 2026 by posting a video featuring a mysterious new girlfriend, though he chose to keep her name a secret for now. First daughter Snowbird Brown has chosen a much quieter life, spending most of her time working hard on her farm. Aside from farming, she previously ran an Etsy shop called Snowbird Crafts, selling charming antique accessories and home items. Snowbird has also been incredibly open about her intense health journey. In 2022, the show documented a frightening cancer scare when doctors discovered tumors in her abdomen, requiring major surgery to remove them. Thankfully, in a May 2026 Instagram update, Snowbird happily reassured her fans that the tumors have not returned and that she is staying on top of all her medical tests. The most shocking twists of all belong to the baby of the family, Rain Brown, who was just 11 years old when the show started. Rain married her partner, Josiah Lorton, in January 2025 after first sharing their relationship online. However, their marital bliss took a dark turn just 3 months later. In April 2025, the newlyweds were arrested for an alleged burglary in Washington state, facing serious charges of first-degree burglary and malicious mischief. Rain fiercely defended herself on Instagram, calling the allegations lies and begging fans to wait to hear her side of the story. Both pleaded not guilty, and while the legal case hangs in the balance, a bright light emerged. In February 2026, matriarch Ami beautifully announced that Rain and Josiah are expecting their first child, a baby girl they plan to name Amethyst Grace, proving that the Brown family story is still being written with hope. Brotherly betrayal, the rumored love triangle that tore the wolf pack apart. The Alaskan Bush People have been a major staple on the Discovery Channel's lineup for years, capturing audiences with their fierce devotion to the wild. The famous wolf pack has always insisted that they absolutely love living off the land, far away from the everyday hustle and bustle of modern society. This deep-rooted bond made viewers believe that family was everything to the Browns, as they relied solely on one another to survive the most remote areas of Alaska and Washington state. Both Billy and Ami Brown held a deep hope that their children would carry on the legacy, raising the grandchildren right on top of the mountain. For the most part, the family tried to keep to themselves, but living in isolation couldn't protect them from their own dark secrets. Along their journey, the cast ran into massive trouble with neighbors and the government alike, building a shocking rap sheet that proves the wilderness wasn't the only dangerous thing they were navigating. In fact, a closer look at their past reveals that the family's legal troubles started long before they ever became reality TV royalty, hinting that their biggest downfall would come from trying to outsmart the system itself. Long before Billy Brown ever burst onto the scene as a television patriarch, his brushes with the law had already begun. In 1980, Billy made a wild plan to flee to Texas with his underage 15-year-old bride, Amy. In a desperate bid to reach the Mexican border, Billy tried to steal a horse from a nearby neighbor, but was quickly caught by authorities. He pleaded guilty to the incident and was sentenced to 1 year of probation. Ami also carried a bit of a hidden past from those early years, facing charges for welfare fraud back in the 1990s. These early legal issues were just a small taste of the massive scandals that would later rock the family once they entered the Hollywood spotlight. As the show grew in popularity, the entire premise of the series began to unravel before the eyes of skeptical viewers. The show claimed to follow a family completely drawn to the wilderness, centering around a rustic collection of buildings they called Browntown. However, locals living near the base camp quickly exposed the truth, revealing that Browntown was merely a clever creation for television. The Brown family did not actually live in the wild permanently, and instead treated the entire area like a movie set. While actively filming, the family would occasionally sleep on the premises, but they otherwise stayed comfortably at a nearby hotel in Hoona, Alaska, called the Icy Strait Lodge. Meanwhile, eldest brother Matt Brown and several crew members temporarily resided at the Misty Bay Lodge. This television deception quickly crossed over into serious criminal activity. Because the Browns were not actually living in Alaska when the show wasn't in production, they were committing major fraud against the state government. Under Alaska's Permanent Fund dividend, year-round residents receive hefty annual payouts financed by the state's lucrative oil industry. In 2015, the government hit Billy, Ami, and 4 of their 7 children with a staggering 60 counts of first-degree unsworn falsification and theft. The state proved that the family had lied on official records, falsely claiming they lived in Alaska from 2011 to 2013 just to keep collecting the dividend checks. In 2016, Billy and his son, Joshua Bam Bam Brown, pleaded guilty to defrauding the government out of around $20,000, and both men actually spent time behind bars for the crime. The family dysfunction only deepened as the years went on, especially for the eldest brother, Matt Brown. It has been years since Matt appeared on Alaskan Bush People, having been officially fired from the show after 2 intense stints in rehab and 2 highly publicized claims of sexual assault. Although the Los Angeles District Attorney eventually declined to prosecute the cases, the heavy controversy forced Matt off the family series for good. While his public battles with sobriety and family drama were well known, whispers began to circulate about an even juicier reason for his sudden departure. A fascinating theory emerged on Reddit, suggesting that a dramatic love triangle might have pushed Matt entirely out of the wolf pack. Fans speculated that a fierce conflict exploded between Matt and his brother Bam Bam over a female producer on the show. The online rumors claimed that the two brothers engaged in serious fighting over this woman, shattering their brotherly bond. While nothing was ever officially confirmed by the family, strong hints emerged that Bam Bam did end up dating one of the show's producers. The couple reportedly moved away from the family ranch entirely, living elsewhere in the United States, while Bam Bam simply flies in to film his scenes, leaving the drama of the wilderness far behind. The wolf pack's eldest, the brilliant mind and hidden battles of Matt Brown. The untamed world of reality television introduced us to the legendary Wolf Pack back in 2014, a fascinating family that captivated millions by living entirely off the grid in the remote Alaskan wilderness. At the center of this wild adventure was Matt Brown, starring alongside his parents, Billy and Amy, and his tight-knit siblings Bear, Noah, Bam Bam, Gabe, Snowbird, and Rain. For years, fans watched them conquer the elements together, believing their familial bond was completely unbreakable. But beneath the rugged charm and the thrilling survival stories lay a deeply troubled soul battling immense darkness. While Matt brought pure joy to television screens, a storm was quietly gathering behind the scenes that would eventually shatter his reality, hinting at a tragic, isolated ending that no amount of wilderness survival skills could ever prevent. The cracks in Matt's life began to show publicly when he suddenly disappeared from the series in 2018, stepping away to enter treatment for severe mental health challenges and heavy alcohol use. This was actually his second stint in rehab, following a previous stay in 2016, as his family desperately tried to support his long road to recovery. Sadly, the trouble only deepened in 2020 when shocking rape accusations came to light. Two women stepped forward in an interview, claiming Matt had severely assaulted them back in 2018. The Discovery Channel immediately released a serious statement, calling the allegations deeply disturbing and urging local authorities to handle the situation. While the Los Angeles District Attorney ultimately declined to prosecute the case, the massive scandal completely forced Matt off the family show for good. Cut off from his television career, Matt turned to his personal YouTube channel, posting videos of his travels, daily life, and raw honesty about his ongoing sobriety journey to help others feel less alone. As the years rolled on, a profound, painful distance grew between Matt and the rest of the wolf pack. He chose to live in deep estrangement, far away from the family ranch. In a 2024 TikTok video, his brother Bear opened up about the heartbreak, explaining that everything involving Matt was incredibly painful to address, but noting that Matt simply did not want to associate with the family anymore. Despite this sad isolation, Matt did manage to find a moment of peace before a major family tragedy. In a video later shared online, Matt revealed that he was beautifully able to reconcile with his father, Billy, shortly before the patriarch tragically passed away from a seizure in 2021. Even as Matt publicly shared his intense pain and struggles in recent months, his worried loved ones were actively trying to reconnect and help him find his way back to stability. But time, unfortunately, ran out. The absolute heartbreak that fans feared most became a devastating reality in late May 2026. The Okanagan County Sheriff's Office received a terrifying 911 call from a person who had just spoken to a man sitting in the shallow waters of the Okanogan River in Washington. The caller turned away for just a brief second, heard a sudden sound, and turned back only to see the man floating face down, drifting away in the rapid current. Law enforcement, fire crews, and search teams rushed to the scene but could not find him. A massive, days-long search erupted, utilizing tracking canines, watercraft, sonar, and expert divers. During the intense search, authorities made a chilling discovery, recovering a firearm from the exact area of the water where the man was last seen. On May 27th, the frantic search came to a tragic end when Matt's body was finally recovered from the river, and his brother Bear soon broke the devastating news to the world. While an official cause of death was not immediately released, Bear tearfully noted on TikTok that it appeared Matt had tragically died by suicide, stating that his brother had struggled for a very long time and that the fatal injury looked self-inflicted. Following the sudden loss, Bam Bam took to Instagram to share a deeply moving tribute, acknowledging that Matt spent many painful years battling severe mental health struggles and addiction. He noted that while Matt's life had mistakes and chapters that caused deep hurt, no person's life should ever be defined solely by their lowest, darkest moments. In the wake of this immense tragedy, the Brown family chooses to remember the extraordinary, brilliant mind that Matt possessed beneath his heavy burdens. They released an emotional statement honoring him as an incredibly intelligent, curious, and creative soul who was endlessly fascinated by the vast world around him. He was a truly gifted outdoorsman who felt most at home navigating the water, serving proudly as the expert radar operator on the family's vessels. Those who truly knew Matt remember his compassionate heart, his incredible talent as an artist, and his genuine desire to help others. Though his journey ended in absolute heartbreak along a lonely river, the unforgettable memories of the charismatic eldest brother will live on forever in the hearts of the millions he touched. Beyond the wilderness, the truth about the isolated cabin and the pizza parlor down the road. Reality television has a notorious reputation for making everyday situations look far more dangerous than they actually are, a dramatic habit that has left popular shows completely labeled as fake. The hit series Alaskan Bush People aggressively used this exact tactic early on, manufacturing wild stories just 4 episodes into its very first season. During a 2014 episode titled Fight or Flight, a dramatic disclaimer flashed across the screen claiming that filming had to be completely stopped due to a sudden, terrifying incident. Viewers watched in absolute shock as Billy, Amy, and all 7 of their children supposedly fled their remote cabin in pure terror after hearing the loud cracks of 2 gunshots ringing out nearby. As the brave male members of the family rushed out to confront the hidden danger, a 3rd shot echoed through the trees, forcing the entire wolf pack to retreat inside and immediately flee the area on a boat. While this intense scene left millions of viewers completely glued to their screens, it was actually the first major clue that the family's rugged survival narrative was entirely built on a foundation of lies, subtly foreshadowing a future where their neighbors, local townspeople, and even their own romantic partners would completely expose the show as a highly scripted sham. More than a year after that dramatic episode debuted, a curious reporter from the Anchorage Daily News decided to dig deep into the story to see if the source of the mysterious gunfire had ever been found. The shocking truth was that absolutely no one associated with the production of Alaskan Bush People had ever filed a police report regarding gunfire. Instead, the crew had privately told the Alaska State Troopers a completely different story. It turned out that a frustrated neighbor had simply shot off a few loud fireworks in the direction of a camera-equipped production helicopter that was loudly flying around during dinner time. This revelation blew the lid off the show's biggest lie, proving that the family's supposedly remote, untouchable homestead wasn't nearly as isolated or obscure as the producers wanted the world to believe. Throughout the early seasons of the show, the Brown family supposedly plied their trades in the deep rural wilderness of the Copper River Basin. The show heavily pushed the idea that this was an incredibly distant, hard-to-reach spot, but the family's home turf was actually sitting right in a small, cozy neighborhood of homes located just a short distance from the busy Richardson Highway. In fact, about 2,500 regular people lived right in that very area. An unpaved road easily connected the family's campsite to a local settlement called Copper Center just 10 miles away, and a local pizza parlor featured in a couple of episodes was located only a half-mile down the road from the Browns' supposedly isolated camp. Because the family lived so close to civilized society, filming the reality show quickly became a massive, highly disruptive nuisance for the people living nearby. A neighboring resident named Jason Hoke lived right next to the Browns' encampment and grew so entirely annoyed by the loud crew vehicles and hovering helicopters interrupting his family's peaceful dinners that he fired those fireworks into the sky to scare them away, creating the exact moment the show twisted into a fake shootout. As the years went on, the locals' intense frustration with the family's deceptive behavior only grew worse. In the summer of 2022, Alaska Public Media reported that the Brown family attempted to buy a new piece of land in Petersburg, Alaska, but they were immediately met with fierce hostility and completely rebuffed by the angry townspeople. A commercial fishing boat owner named Mark Hofstad explained that the town's anger stemmed from the family's long history of misrepresenting themselves, specifically pointing to the massive 2014 fraud scandal where 6 family members were slapped with 60 counts of theft for lying about their residency. A local real estate agent completely refused to even take the family's calls, and Hofstad openly mocked the show, stating that it featured non-residents portraying themselves as real Alaskans while making the entire state look foolish. This wasn't even the first time their neighbors accused them of being total con artists. A man named Jim Stanford, who lived near the family at Mosquito Lake before the show ever premiered, openly stated that the Browns were definitely not living off the land or building their own cabins from scratch like they claimed on television. The script writing on the show became even more glaringly obvious when it came to the young adults' romantic lives. Viewers always found it highly suspicious that the siblings could easily find a viable dating pool in the middle of nowhere. And one specific romance proved that the love lines were completely staged for television ratings. In a 2016 episode, Noah Brown returned to Alaska from a trip accompanied by a beautiful new love interest named Karina. The show presented her as a random server from San Diego, whom Noah had met by chance and swept off her feet. But the romance mysteriously lasted for only a single episode. The juicy truth quickly came out that Karina wasn't just a simple server. Before appearing on the show, Karina Kaufman had actually competed in the 2012 Miss California pageant and had actively starred in several short films. The show had literally hired a professional actor to pretend to be Noah's girlfriend just to create an entertaining plotline. The ultimate betrayal of the show's reality facade came from within the family circle itself. When Noah Brown got married in 2018, his official wedding photographer brought along her daughter, a young model named Raven Adams, to act as an assistant. That fateful day is where Raven first met Bear Brown, sparking a wild relationship that led to a quick engagement, a sudden breakup, a brief reconciliation due to a pregnancy, and eventually a restraining order. Having lived behind the scenes and starred throughout the show's 11th season, Raven decided to completely shatter the illusion in an explosive 2020 interview with The Sun. She bluntly revealed that the show is absolutely not real, estimating that a measly 10% of it actually holds any truth. Raven completely confirmed what neighbors had been saying for years, exposing that the family didn't even live on the mountain together. She revealed that during her time there, the only people actually staying on the mountain were sisters Bird and Rain, who were living in basic trailers, while the rest of the family was simply bussed up to the mountain strictly to film their scenes. Even worse, Raven exposed that the loving family camaraderie shown on television was completely fake, revealing that none of the siblings actually get along in real life, except for Bird and Rain. In the end, the wild, tightly knit wolf pack that millions fell in love with was nothing more than a highly manufactured Hollywood illusion. What brown sibling was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.